Hello my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It's Melinda Sweetman here with you with July's share for Cut To You with this month's Cut of the Month file, which is this beautiful flower bud cluster frame, and this is the layout that I created. I I have backed it with vellum, and I have my Cameo cut the vellum for me. It's all one big piece that I've just used tape runner to stick behind that cut file. And this is a photo from my wedding, which, yes, was nearly 20 years ago, so 2008. And this is a photo of my grandparents. I am fortunate enough that I still have my nan here with me, but my pop passed away nearly 10 years ago. But I love this photo of us. I remember showing this to my nan. Bless her little cotton socks. She really questioned what she wore to my wedding, and I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. It was this beautiful green colour, and I really loved it, and I made sure I told her, and she was like, oh, I think I stood out too much. Bless her. But this is the same woman who, when I told her we were pregnant with our second child, that if it was a girl, we wanted to call her Violet, which is my grandmother's name, and she was horrified and told us that we were not to curse her child with that name. I think it's a beautiful name. But anyway, so I am scrubbing with this photo of my grandparents and myself from my wedding day. It is one of my favourite photos from the day. They both are so happy, and it was so nice to have them both there with me. So yeah. I've added lots of stitching to this one. I have stitched around my border of my page. I've stitched around my photo, and you can see here I've stitched around those frames as well. I'm just adding my tape here, just showing you how I do that. I'm using the Crate Paper Gingham Garden collection. It's a beautiful collection. And if you haven't seen it, it is a cream-based collection, so it's quite warm. And I don't know if you noticed, but my cut file is white. It is like a cool white. It's American Crafts texture white cardstock. And if you've ever tried to pair white with cream, you may have struggled. I know I have many times in the past, but I have found something that works. And basically, if I'm using a cream collection and I want to use white somewhere, I add white and then I add more white. That is my big tip. Add more white. Or if you're going the other way, using a white based collection and want to add cream in, add more of those warmer tones, and then your layout will feel balanced. It's not a super secret tip or anything, or anything really tricky, but just add more. So I've started with obviously my white cut file. All my stitching is done in white. I'm going to add white splatters at the end, which I felt for me was the perfect finishing touch. The other reason that I wanted to use the white is because my wedding gown is white. My photo is quite a warm photo, and that white stands out. So that is why I wanted to bring more white in, so that the white of my dress wasn't the only thing that was so different. But I love the way this layout turned out. I love the stitching on the frames there. I think it's just a nice little detail. And the page actually turns out fairly clean, especially for me, but it's very pretty. I'm really happy with it. So these pieces that I'm layering behind my photo are from the papier, I think you say. Let me know in the comments. It's the box with all the bits of paper and stuff in it. I love it. It's nice and thin, so it doesn't add too much bulk. And you can see I'm just layering up my pieces here. The two pieces that I've used for my background have actually come from the paper pad, because I've done the double background, like the normal one with the border. I did use 2 full sheets from the paper pad rather than double-sided paper for this one. That ledger is one of my favourites. They're so versatile, and I kind of hoard them. And I try to use them, but I don't ever want to run out of them, ever. It's one of those catch-22 things. It's funny as. So you can see I'm just playing here with the layers, hoping to find something that I'm happy with. and I'm going to add this blue so that it's on the left hand side as well as the right hand side. Not really sure why I cut the center out because, like I said, these papers are not particularly thick. It doesn't add too much bulk, but I did, and I've got an extra piece of that blue, I guess, for another layout. I pulled out the thickers and I've just gone with a really simple title here. You can see that I did move everything down a little bit, so I've got to cover up some of that, some of the frame where I didn't stitch, but that's okay, it's easy enough to fix. I did try the wood grain alphabet thickers that are part of this collection, but they didn't quite work. So I pulled out these ones. These are an old set from Pink Fresh Studio, and I started with love this photo, then I changed it to love this moment, and I didn't like the way the word moment was over the frame, but I liked that it covered up my stitching. So I thought, you know what, I will leave this where it is for now and I'll move on to something else. There's a 6x12 sticker sheet that is all clear stickers, so that's where this floral has come from. The florals in this collection are absolutely stunning. I love them so much. So I'm going to add that one down there, and then I'm going to add another one up the top here. You see, I'm trying with this bigger one, but it is, I do stick it and then I'm like, nope, don't like the way it's going over all those layers. You can see through it, so I'm going to peel it up, try it somewhere else, and then peel it up again. They're just beautiful. I love them so much, but I did stick this one down. It wasn't overlapping in so many places, but the reason I decided not to put that one there was because it's pretty much right in line with the one at the bottom, and I didn't like the visual aesthetic of that, so I'm going to pull that one up. I really wanted to bring something over to the top right hand side over near that title. So third time lucky. I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to chop off those little blue leaves at the bottom in just a second because I'm not quite happy with that. But rather than tuck the leaves under and lose them, I'm going to chop them off. So then I changed my title, took moment off. Here we go, chop off those blue leaves. Save those for a different project, and love this with that little floral there, and I really like the way that has all come together. I have stuck half a label down the bottom there, but the reason I didn't keep that in is because I'm going to remove that in a minute. Going through the ephemera just to find a couple of extra pieces here, and I literally only found a couple, like 2 pieces that I thought would work. I thought with that big floral on the left hand side, and then the paper layers, I didn't really want or need to add all that much. So I found this piece with the rainbow on it. Both of them have got rainbows, and I ended up going with this one that says lovely day because it was a lovely day, and like I said, I'm so grateful that they were both able to be there with me. Going through the stickers to see what I can add. I thought I wanted to add something to that label down the bottom, and I do find a perfect sticker, but it's too big. I don't like the way it looks with that label, hence why I'm going to remove it. That word remember. I'm going to pull up the label and then peel those 2 stickers apart. I'll keep that label for another layout. Actually, no, I use it on this layout. So remember goes down the bottom there, and then I'm going to layer this up in here. Again, I struggled with this. I ended up cutting it into pieces and tucking it in, but I didn't make you watch that because it was a bit painful. Once I had stuck that label down to a place I was happy with it, I did go back through and grab the puffy stickers, and I have added 3 of them. There's like a dusky pink colour and then a green colour, and I think a like more red pink colour. So I've added a butterfly, a star and a heart, but up the top there's one of the little birds. It's so cute. So I'm going to add those 3 in 3 places and make my little clusters. I am then going to come back in with some gold watercolour paint and add splatters, and I stick to those 3 places again to keep that visual triangle. I haven't added any journaling, and I'm unsure if I will. I think if I do, it'll just be maybe a couple of lines right at the bottom of the cut file on the lines there. So I've got my gold splatters that I'm going to add here, and you'll see in the still photos where I've added the white splatters. Again, I just used my white India ink to add my white splatters, which I decided to do after I turned everything off. So I was like, I'll just add the white splatters and explain that if you, like I said, if you are using a really cream-based collection and want to bring that white in, just add more white and you'll find that it balances and everything works together beautifully. You can see that in my stills here, and you can see my white splatters. As always, thank you so much for choosing to stop by my channel today. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them below, and everything about the cut of the month cut file will be down in the description box below. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends. See you next time.